Welcome everybody to the Ambition Project Show. I'm your host, Deirdre Sanborn. On this show, I interview ambitious leaders who share their stories about how they're making big impact in people's lives, in their communities, and in their businesses, so that you, the listener, may be inspired to do the same. If you like what you hear on the show, please be sure to check us out on iTunes at theambitionprojectshow.com or go to my website at www.theambitionprojectshow.com. I'm joined here today by the three founders of the Good Returns Group, Kyle Lukianek, Salah Bukadoum, and Matt Wood. So guys, I'm going to turn it over to you. You are making certainly really big changes in the way that people perceive business and their impact on the community, and I was hoping that you could tell us a little bit more about what you're up to.
Absolutely.
Kyle?
Should I start?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm the president of Good Returns Network, which is affiliated with Good Returns Group, and what we're trying to do is basically revolutionize the way that companies participate in capitalizing solutions to major global issues. So what we've done with Soap Hope is actually give it a business model. So every time you shop with us, every time you buy soap, 100% of those profits is used to empower women around the globe. So Good Returns specifically, what we want to do is actually develop a portfolio of businesses that is committing capital every year to fund a portfolio of organizations that are working in the areas of poverty, clean energy, clean water, oppression, conflict resolution. We pretty much map to the UN Sustainable Millennium Goals, and we basically want to take that capital, use it for good, but in a way that makes sense for business.
So that sounds like a really big idea.
It
Holy
is.
cow.
It's huge. And so you said that we were doing, we're making big changes in business, and we are doing that. We're trying, and we're moving forward, and we're doing some big things, and we're seeing a lot of successes with companies like Soap Hope, and we have other companies that are on board like Choose Shoes. But we really want to take that model, institutionalize it, and then be able to go out into the globe and go around the country and sign up businesses to commit even more capital to doing something like this.
So Kyle, maybe you could tell us a little bit more specifically about the Good Returns model and how you differentiate yourself from other philanthropic models that are out there.
So, and I don't want to steal any of Matt's thunder here, but I think the easiest way to do this is just to walk through Soap Hope. So a specific example, if you go to the Soap Hope website and say you buy a bar of soap, say for our purposes it's $5. Out of that $5, let's say there's $1 of profit. At the end of each year, Soap Hope takes that $1 of profit and lends it to Good Returns Network. Good Returns Network then has a portfolio of organizations. We're currently in the Dominican Republic, in India, and locally in Texas. We take all those dollars and we generate interest-free loans to those organizations. They can then use that money to further their mission. They cycle back stories to Good Returns, which then filters those stories back to Soap Hope so they can use them for customers and things like that. And then at the end of the year, those loans are repaid to Good Returns, who repays those loans to Soap Hope. And then Soap Hope, which is a traditional for-profit business, takes those funds and distributes them out to investors like they normally would.
So the great thing about this model, and what I hear you saying, is that investors are not only doing good through the investment of their dollar, but they're also earning a rate of return on their money after the money's been returned to them. Is that correct?
Well, what we say is that investors don't have to donate anything. What they're doing is they're volunteering their dollar. So it's spending a year serving humanity, but what we truly believe is that the company that they're invested in actually benefits from participating in this type of program. So what we say is that the marketing benefit that you get from just participating in a program like this, having the stories to share with your customer, outweighs that opportunity cost of that 1 year of $1. So we actually have investors that aren't seeing this as, oh, I have to wait 1 year. They're seeing it as, this is awesome. I get to participate. My money is going to do good. Oh, and I get to get that money back. I'm not donating anything.
So these investors see the value of, or the value of the intangible on making actually very tangible impact on the world by taking the money and reinvesting it in, to give a specific example, and maybe we could turn to Matt for a second, is Soap Hope's invested in women causes or lifting women from poverty through the investment of the dollars for that 1 year. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about Soap Hope specifically, and then what those dollars are doing during that 1 year capital reinvestment.
Yeah. So Soap Hope was created initially to really change the lives of women. That's our focus when we work with Good Returns Network. It's to help women in poverty in those areas that Good Returns Network has invested. And what we're able to do is sell natural products, which we are very focused on selling products that are for the body and for the home, that are healthy, natural, and have ingredients that we feel that we would use ourselves. And we can provide those goods to people that want the same thing, but then we can then take the proceeds from selling those products and use it for something so much more. So it's almost like a retail model shifted, where our focus isn't necessarily to make the money, but to use the money that we make to make an impact.
So I'll use myself as an example. I love cool stuff for my body that makes me feel good, and the natural products you sell not only make me like feel good, but feel good about what I'm actually using on my skin, because it's all natural products. So wow, that's amazing. And then not only that, but also when I'm using these products, I know that the money that I've invested is actually going to help other women who are perhaps in poverty or trying to lift themselves out of poverty. That money that I've invested is going to support women through base capital to help them grow their business in an interest-free loan in this return. Do I understand that correctly?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I get a bar of soap from Soap Hope as opposed to not to bag on Whole Foods, but Whole Foods, because I'm actually getting two things for my $1. I'm getting the soap, and I'm getting the donation to other women to help give them a helping hand to lift them up from where they're at right now.
Well, you said it. It's a double benefit in that you benefit from using these natural products that are healthy and they're safe for you and safe for your family. But then also, you know that the money that you're spending to buy those products is going to be turned around and used to help others around the world, and in our case with Soap Hope, help other women to do things that they otherwise would not have been able to do.
That's amazing. So how long has Soap Hope been in operation for?
Soap Hope has been around since 2008, when Sala and our other co-founder Craig decided that they wanted better access to natural products, but they also wanted to do something beyond just buying and selling these healthy products.
So what I hear, basically reading between the lines, is if you've been in existence since 2008, that there's something here with this Good Returns model. Like, this is not just fly-by-night. There's some proven consistency through the model and through Soap Hope that this actually works. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I think we get a lot of comments from customers of people that love our mission, they love our packaging and our minimal impact on the environment, which I'll let Matt talk about. But this is a message that's really resonating with customers. So you nailed it. You know, you get two things. You're getting this awesome product that you could buy at Whole Foods, or you can come here and there's social good that comes out of it. There's that added benefit. And you use the word donation, and we want to stray far from that, because it's not a donation. We are very pro-sustainable initiatives. So all the organizations that we work with are sustainable, and they're addressing these issues of poverty and empowering women, but in a sustainable way.
Well, you make a great point, because it's like an old habit pattern, right? If I'm going to help someone, it's a donation. But what you're saying is, no, it's like an infinity loop where I'm helping others, Dad's helping them, and it feeds back into the community, because in a community where, you know, here all ships are rising.
Exactly. The traditional philanthropic model is great and it's needed, but it's capped. You can look back historically and see how many dollars people are donating. It's traditionally 2% of GDP since they've been tracking it. So to rely on that model to solve these types of problems, I think is unrealistic. And so what Good Returns was really built to do was to tap into the resources of capitalism and to traditional businesses and saying, hey, we get what you need. You're driven by shareholder value. We've developed a model that puts that at the forefront, but also addresses the needs on what we call the impact organization side and gets them the resources that they need, but in an interest-free way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that with regards to what's happening at SoPope, or how that it's making a difference in the world, and specifically, like, how are your investors responding to this initiative?
Well, so our investors are very pleased because they see they're invested in a company that is doing good, but at the end of the day, when the money cycles, they still get their dividends in return. So there's the benefit for them, but there's also that benefit knowing that it's a business that is more than just something that they're looking for an investment and a return from.
Very interesting. So Sala, we haven't turned to you yet. This is all fundamentally your brainchild. Maybe you could tell us more holistically, between SoPope and the Good Returns model, how this all weaves together with your grand vision of Impact City.
Fantastic. The one thing I do want to add about SoPope is some people are not clear about the nature of the business. Is it making products or is it selling products? And it's so important for people to know we're a store, we're a retailer. So if you go to sopope.com and you find a product on the site and you buy it from SoPope, then it goes through this cycle that we've been talking about, and it impacts the lives of women. If you buy that same product in a different store, you had mentioned one, there's many where you can buy these kinds of products, it doesn't have that same kind of impact. So it's really important for people, if they want to get that double benefit, they have to shop at SoPope. That's how you do it.
What products do you carry? What lines do you carry at SoPope? And maybe you could tell us a little bit more about where we can find them and purchase them.
Great. So the idea behind SoPope was that we wanted to carry what our tagline says, which is everything good for body and home. And that means we started with the simplest thing we could think of as soap bars. We carry soaps from probably over half a dozen different makers. They're all natural. They're all good for you. They're eco-friendly. We really care about the ingredients and the packaging of our products. But we expanded from there to almost every part of your home. So Matt actually thinks about the products we carry by going from room to room in the house. We start in the bathroom. So we have shampoos and conditioners. We have makeup. We have facial scrubs. They're all top brand, top quality products. And then he moves into the kitchen. So we have household cleaning products. We've got even things for outdoors like BPA-free canisters that you can take with you for a picnic. And so we try to encompass the whole spectrum of what a person might want for their everyday life. The question about where you buy sort of our products is really important because we're a store, and sometimes people think when they hear SoPope that we make the different kinds of products. But we're a retailer. That means the model that empowers women only works if you buy the products at SoPope. If you find a product on our site that you love and then you find it somewhere else, always come back to our site to buy it. That's how the profits get sent to do their mission. I had a friend one time who told me that she had been supporting SoPope for years and that she always buys our products when she goes to the grocery store. And I had to say, oh no, you have to buy them at SoPope to make the mission work because we don't make them, we sell them.
Right, and so how would somebody go about doing that? Go to sopope.com?
Exactly, sopope.com. It will take you to our homepage. There's a menu at the top that lists all the different areas of products that we sell. And every week we offer specials. So we like to encourage people to come back every single week and see what the current deals are, see what new products we carry. We add new manufacturers all the time. Pretty much every month you're going to find a new kind of maker or product on the site.
Great. Well, so I assume your products are competitive with those that are sold in the grocery store, the same exact lines, and even if they aren't, that few extra cents that you'd be charging goes to benefit women in impoverished situations who are looking to pull themselves out of poverty. So it's certainly for a great cause.
In fact, we pride ourselves on not asking people to really make a sacrifice to do this work together for women. We offer great prices. We offer great deals. We don't ask people to pay more. We have free shipping on orders that are over $45. We've got really all the quality, service, and offers that you would expect from any successful store. It's just we take the extra measure of using the profits for something really important.
So there's really no sacrifice or even donation, if you will, when it comes to purchasing from Soap Hope and bestowing the benefit with the broader model of using the profits for greater good. It's just same.
That's right.
You buy from a grocery store, you buy from Soap Hope.
Exactly. And actually, I ask people who say, "Oh, how can I support you?" or "How can I, spread the word?" The very first thing a person can do is to make a commitment that they will stop buying soap, body care, and household cleaning products at the grocery store. Just leave that aisle behind. Get your groceries, go home, go on soaphope.com and buy your products there. We take care of all of the rest. We will find the institutions that work with women. We vet them. We actually go to the locations where they work to make sure that the programs are really, deeply serving women. We send the money there. All of the mission side we take care of. We just need our constituents and our supporters to do their shopping with us.
Which segues into the next thing around the good returns model and the fact that I hear what you say there's a compliance or an audit type function where you actually vet the counterparties you work with to make sure that the money's actually being used appropriately and for the good that you say it's going to be. My understanding is that the good returns model is a form of a template for others to use. So instead of having to vet a completely new model or a new system, that there's already something that's ready-made. Since this is your brainchild, maybe, Sala, you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. So Soap Hope is supposed to demonstrate the good returns model that Kyle was explaining, where the dollars that are earned by the company go and volunteer for a year to do good in the world, and then they come back and the owners of the company can take the money at that time. So it's a temporary service, basically, year after year after year. And we wanted to start Soap Hope so that we could show other companies how to do this as well. This model is applicable to any business. If there's a coffee shop that wants to do this, they could do it. If there's a major manufacturer or a retail chain, they could do it. And one of the services that we offer is to teach and help other companies how to do that. So we've got big ambitions of spreading the good returns model to dozens and hundreds and hopefully one day thousands of businesses that will all be participating in this virtuous economic cycle, doing their business, doing the service or providing the product that they have been all along, not asking customers to make any kinds of sacrifices, but just using a proper, well thought out economic model to serve humanity in a better way.
Sounds like a win-win-win situation to me.
It is.
Where can people find more information about good returns model and the potential of applying it to their own businesses?
So if they want to make a difference through their purchases, they go to soaphope.com. If they're interested in learning more about the business model and how they might participate, they go to goodreturns.org because it's a nonprofit entity.
Goodreturns.org. And the links to these references, as well as all the great things that you mentioned during this episode today, will definitely be mentioned on my website at www.theambitionprojectshow.com. And I think it's just, again, spread the good word, and all ships rise in a rising tide.
Exactly.
So to close the show out, I often ask my guests if they have a favorite ambition quote that they like. Do you have one that you could share with us today?
I do. I say this often. It's a quote from a French writer, and it goes, "A dream without a plan is just a wish." So the idea is, if you've got your big dream, write your plan out and make it happen.
Well, you have lots of plans. In fact, so many big plans that we didn't get to touch on one of them today, which is Impact City. Maybe you could tell us very briefly what that's all about, because we plan on covering it in another upcoming episode.
Great. Well, we think that Soap Hope is one example of a business, and Good Returns is one example of a model that can take a different approach to solving big problems of our time. Kyle had mentioned that traditional philanthropy is very important, but it's not going to ultimately solve all of the major issues of poverty, hunger, education, healthcare, all of these pressing challenges that we have. And so our idea is that we want to create a center of the world, a global hub right here in Dallas for bringing institutions that are working on those problems together. Not just traditional nonprofits, but really these impact organizations that have new and innovative business models, and make Dallas the center and the shining example for that. So I'm really looking forward to talking with you about the details of how we make that happen. But we do believe Dallas is the impact city of our world.
That is a very big, ambitious goal, and I look forward to talking to you about that. I also like to ask my guests if they know any leaders, ambitious leaders, because that's what this show is all about, is asking ambitious leaders to come on and share their big ideas. Any ambitious leaders that you would recommend to me as a guest on a future show?
Kyle?
Well, I think someone that I've grown very close to and I think is doing tremendous work in Southern Dallas is Richard Miles. He has an amazing story in the stuff that he's working on with individuals who are formerly incarcerated or families with people that were formerly incarcerated. I think he's got a very wonderful approach to how he's dealing with those situations, and I think he'd be great to just tell his own story and share what he's working on today.
Sounds inspiring. And one last question for you. Are there any resources or books that you resource into to help you with the work that you do every day or in spreading big ideas?
Well, the one that I go to a lot is the Stanford Social Innovation Review. So they're one of the premier publications when it comes to talking about innovative business models or companies that are doing really neat things to address, major global humanitarian issues, but in a sustainable way.
You can find links to everything we've talked about today, as well as more information about the guests we've had, by going to www.theambitionprojectshow.com. And if you like what you see here today, please leave a comment and some feedback. You can also find us on iTunes at www.theambitionprojectshow. Thank you again so much for joining us today. I know the listeners certainly learned a lot, and hopefully will go to Soap Hope to help not only themselves but others.
Thank you, Deirdre.
Yeah, thank you, Deirdre.
Okay, appreciate it. And for everybody else, stay ambitious, and we'll talk with you soon.